DiscoverParks.ca. So I'm just going to share my screen quickly. Amazing. I hope everyone can see this. Feel free to unmute if there's any issues there. So just to start, I do want to acknowledge where I'm calling from. I've actually normally resided back in North Vancouver, which is where the foundation is based, which is, of course, the traditional unceded territory of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam nations. And right now, I'm currently in Duncan, BC, on Vancouver Island, which also has a rich history, which I'm learning about. But for thousands of years, we've had the Cowichan tribe, Malahat, Tubatsax, Halalts, Penelakut, Chemainus, and Liaxan peoples who have amazingly walked gently on these traditional territories where I now live and work. So today I'm here to talk to you about DiscoverParks.ca and how we've been working to enhance accessibility to BC's parks and protected areas. So just to start, I should probably give you a little background on who is the BC Parks Foundation. So often people confuse us with BC Parks, which is super fair, but because of the name, but we are not government. We actually work collaboratively with them in different areas, but ultimately our mission is to inspire and empower you and British Columbians to enjoy, protect, and expand parks and Indigenous protected areas in BC, helping keep BC beautiful, full of life, and resilient for now, forever, and for everybody. So we don't report to government, we don't raise money for government, but we do work very collaboratively, cooperatively with them, and we proudly act as the official charitable partner to BC system and parks and protected areas. Ultimately, as you can see on this slide, our goal is to get people to enjoy and protect British Columbia's natural beauty. To want to protect something, you want to care for it and know about it and have a connection with it, which is where Discover Parks comes into play. So what is Discover Parks? Discover Parks is one of the BC Parks Foundation many programs. It is meant to inspire British Columbians and guests to discover, experience, and care for nature, bring together nature, art, technology, and culture, and done in several ways. So this is done through these four main pillars that you see written on the screen. We have our Discover Park ambassadors. These are our local park ambassadors in over 20 parks across the province who run their programs from June to August. And they run weekly nature walks, amphitheater programs, which are like group gathering programs. Sometimes it's a talent show, sometimes it's an informative educational talk from a naturalist. And we also have our Jerry's Ranger program, which Jerry the Moose is a big BC Parks staple. Some may say icon. And he's been the mascot for several years. And we're bringing back this program that used to exist back in the 90s when BC Park used to do interpretation in parks. And we're bringing back the Jerry's Rangers program where kids can actually come and attend our programs and get their Jerry antlers and graduate as a Jerry's Ranger. We also have our nature houses, which host our ambassadors at both Goldstream Provincial Park and Rat River Beach Provincial Park. But it also has several other opportunities for environmental education, from interpretive, kind of like engaging installments in the nature house itself, as well as our school program. So we've brought back our salmon run program in the fall, where teachers can sign up to bring their classes, as well as our spring programs that were run for the first time since several years this past spring, 2024. And then we have Discover Trails. Discover Trails is the part of this program that's about providing people with engaging and educational self-guided experiences. So that means that people can go at their own pace, and this includes online resources that are hosted on DiscoverParks.ca and trail signage projects in parks. And finally, what we're all here today, well, what I'm here today to talk to you about. It's DiscoverParks.ca. And this is a comprehensive platform that offers a variety of resources and information to enhance visitor experience. Whether it's planning a visit or exploring a park virtually, the platform is designed to make BC parks more accessible and inclusive. And here you start to see a little bit of what I'm talking about. So, because a lot of what I'm going to talk about is a website, I wanted to talk a bit on the side of what we do to make sure the website is keeping accessibility standards in mind. And slowly, I'll just start talking more and more about what are our guiding principles in this realm of things. But just for starters, we understand that everyone, interacts with things differently virtually, especially those with varying needs and those with people with disabilities. So we are committed to making Discover Parks website accessible to everyone. To guide this work, we follow a set of standards known as the WCAG 2.0 AA, which are widely recognized guidelines for web accessibility. I'm clearly not the web developer here, so hopefully that's how you say that. We've taken a close look at our website to figure out where we need to improve. We made a list of specific areas that require attention and working through them step by step. This website is only a year old, so it is really only in it's a work in progress is basically what we're trying to do. We finally gotten some internal capacity to really start looking at how the website was built and make sure that we're prioritizing the things that we want to prioritize, which is once again making sure it's accessible and inclusive for everyone. To check our progress, we use special tools to help identify any accessibility issues, and these are tools that are trusted by big companies like Microsoft and Google. And however, we also do hands-on testing ourselves. For example, navigating the website using only a keyboard and assessing how easy it is for people to use for people with different needs. And yeah, once again, this is an ongoing project in which we are always learning, but we're committed to making our website meet the highest standards of accessibility. All right, and now we can get to the meat of it. What is on DiscoverParks.ca? And don't worry, I'm going to take you to the website. So I'm trying to get through the information stuff first, just to make sure you can get the juicy stuff quickly. So to start the website, I categorize it kind of in two different things: in-person activities and virtual/self-guided activities, also known as Discover Trails for the program name. So for the guided activities, these are bookable or walk-in activities hosted either by our Discover Park ambassadors or by trusted operators and community groups running activities in parks. In the same realm, we have special events that have kind of a similar explanation of they can be bookable or they can be walk-in. They could be, either a community hosting maybe a volunteer opportunity or educational event or really just anything to have fun. You can see Miracle Beach hosts a weekly family movie night. And one example of this is the Discover Park ambassadors. They partnered with British Columbia Mobility Opportunity Society, and this special event gave a chance to test the Trail Rider. And the Trail Rider is a unique mobility device that enables a person with a physical disability to take part in hikes and excursions. So this is really to highlight the possibility of what we can share on this website and really how we can make this information front and center and accessible and easy to find. So then we have our self-guided activities. So Discover Trails encompasses all the self-guided activities that you'll find on DiscoverParks.ca, as well as trail signage projects that we have in parks, all being free, low barrier, and with the goal of being accessible by as many people as possible. Specifically with the trail signage projects, we create them with accessibility in mind by utilizing universal design standards such as high contrast text and installation with signs at an angle so it suits all people and abilities. We collaborate with organizations that work with people who have barriers to the outdoors to identify barriers and create content or trail features that would increase their accessibility to nature. This is a newer part of our program, picked up, it's really picked up in the last year with the website as itself, because obviously it's all been created in the past year. And these self-guided activities come in a variety of formats. So a lot of them are PDF guides that we welcome people to print off or download and take them into the park. But they also are audio guides and video guides. And of course, the in-person signage that I mentioned. We also do have a lot of exciting things upcoming. So I will mention that we have a bronze casted tactile features on a Discover Trail at Miracle Beach Park that's coming up this fall, hopefully, if all goes well. And the work being done with the Squamish Nation on a new story trail at Porto Cove. So our story trails are where we're really trying to bring out cultural and cultural knowledge into the parks, and once again, an interactive, engaging way. So right before I get to the website, checking it out, I do want to highlight a few things that Discover Parks program has been doing to really make sure we're staying up to date and just giving the best content and best experiences that we can. In 2022, our Discover Park Ambassador training, we welcomed the Welcome Project to the Discover Park Ambassador training. Sorry, mixed up my words. So this is an accessibility focused training session led by Parks Canada in collaboration with Power to Be, Connects Autism Network, the Intercultural Association of Greater Victoria, and BC Parks. And the training was intended to help the DPAs uncover their own unconscious biases and how it might affect how they interact with visitors. It actually proved to be extremely valuable, and with each passing season, we're learning new ways of integrating this type of training into the program. With the launch of the BC Parks commitment to inclusion, like I said, we partner very closely with BC Parks, especially in this entire Discover Parks program. When they launched their commitment to inclusion and the broadening of inclusion work here at the foundation, we started creating we worked at creating an American Sign Language tour at Goldstream Provincial Park, which I am going to show you later and talk a little bit more about that partnership, as well as our own equality, diversity, and inclusion guidelines for our network of self-guided trails and resources. So we're constantly looking to improve and expand our training as well as the guidelines that we use to create these experiences in parks. Most recently, this past DPA season, we also partnered with Power to Be, who curated an online course specifically tailored to the Discover Parks Ambassadors program and hosted a 2.5-hour virtual workshop with our 2024 Discover Park Ambassador team. And the course and workshop raised awareness about accessibility in the outdoors and provided them with practical ways to approach the training to make programs in parks more accessible to people with varying abilities. And the tailored approach to the training made it seem more tangible for them to achieve and apply directly to the programs they know. Perfect. Now we get to the fun stuff. So let's check out the website. So here we have it, DiscoverParks.ca. As you can see, we've always tried to be very honest and upfront that this is a new website. We don't have it all figured out, so we're always welcoming feedback and any ideas or any ideas to partner. We're really just always looking to collaborate and create awesome new things. So to start, to show you the website itself, it's meant to be quite simple. You say, I want to do something, or I want to do this in this park. And if you have a specific date, you can also look at that. Right here, you see our homepage of activities, which constantly are changing. But I think the ones that are really exciting are when we have the Miracle Beach Nature House share with us that they do their weekly family movie night. So we've been able to post it. We had someone out in the northern BC tell us about an outdoor painting class that is welcome and it's free, and we're able to list this. And then we have our own Discover Trails content, which is under the self-guided activity category. And I think it's worth just giving you an idea. Because I know for us with the Discovered Trails, we were made, well, for myself, I've been learning a whole lot about, really just making the outdoors inclusive as I was a new Canadian. The outdoors wasn't something my family did every weekend growing up, although I did grow up in Vancouver. And it's just been a really great experience to find out what the barriers are and really try to address them. And slowly, there's so many amazing groups doing similar things and also trying to support those groups in doing that. So one thing that we know is that finding information can be a huge barrier, like knowing what to expect when you get to a park, what's the trail like? Is it gravel? Is it wood? Are there a bunch of hills? So we've created these video guides, which are both meant to be educational entertainment, but also informative. So in this one, we have a content creator that we work with, the Nature Educator on Instagram. And she walks us through a tour of Rath Beach, um, which I'd be happy to actually just show you guys quickly.
Hello everyone, my name is Rachel and I'm a naturalist. And today we're going to be going for a nature walk together at Rathtrevor Provincial Park, which is found on the east coast of Vancouver Island. I'm so excited to check out this park with you today and show you some of the amazing things you can see here. Let's go check it out.
So you do need to log in to see the full video here, but um, that's just an idea. And she actually does walk you through the trail itself, and it gives you a really good visual and understanding of what it is you can expect on this specific trail. Um, if we go back, a really exciting activity that we created last year was at Goldstream. And I had mentioned this earlier, but we actually partnered with the Island Deaf and Hard of Hearing Center that's based out of Victoria, along with BC Parks and ourselves, the foundation, and wanted to provide an opportunity specifically geared towards deaf individuals and those that use ASL to communicate, American Sign Language. And we partnered in varying ways. So we worked with all three groups worked to develop the walking tour itself. We were able to take a group out and do user testing, bringing along an interpretive translator as well. And the Island Deaf and Hard of Hearing Center was also super willing and kind to provide a follow-up report containing feedback from the group participants. So it was a very collaborative experience where we all learned a lot, and especially ourselves. I think the more we can do this, the more it can trickle into all the work we do, not necessarily needing the time or capacity of these groups, but being able to just make sure we're ticking off all the important things to make this as inclusive and accessible, depending on the project, of course. It's not all, we can't generalize everything, but an example here of what this looks like is it comes in a variety of formats. So we have the audio, which you can play, put it in your ears. You can also download it. So if there's no service, which usually there'll be a note in the guide if there's service or not, you can download it and then play it when you're there. And then we have the video itself. So I will just share this. I do welcome you guys to come to the website and explore all these things. There's a lot to explore. And as you can see, this is all the visual American Sign Language tour. And then we have the visitor center trail guided audio tour, but this is the PDF version. So this is the third format that we currently have for self-guided activities, and it's all written down. This is downloadable, a lot more visuals and maps, and it shows the different stops. And then it gives a little bit information of what it is you're learning about in that guided video or guided audio. And then we always make sure to have some safety information and leave no trace principles, and just making sure that we're respecting nature and also making sure we're all staying safe outside. Another thing worth noting here as well is the park information that we try to share. Once again, kind of merging BC Parks website information, and BC Parks is great information on parks and kind of more of the infrastructure, the operational side. And we're trying to share activities, but we can't forget that also the operational side is super important for people to go in knowing what to expect. And we pull this information from the BC Parks website, and we're actually working to make sure that we're pulling all the information that's super valuable. So I know there's a lot more we can do on making sure the accessibility information is front and center and available, especially for every park, because sometimes that information isn't always there. And then I could keep going, I guess, just to give you an idea. We do also have information on this website about our nature houses, Discover Parks ambassador programs, their schedule, for example, who have unfortunately just finished. This past weekend was their very last day in parks. But we do have our nature houses that are open. And then just some pictures. And whenever we have any, events that are shared broadly, we had a Parks Day event in all the parks. This is all shared here. And then you can also find park specific information in this section as well. And then lastly, this is up and coming, and this lines up with what we're trying to do with our virtual experience of making sure people have the information and ability to really explore these areas, even if they can't maybe make it that day, or if they're physically not able to, or if they want to know, don't want to waste their time going to the park and not even really being able to enjoy it. So our newest development slash project, and it's not actually live on our website yet, so you guys get a first sneak peek to it, is our virtual tours. So we do always want to highlight that you're not allowed to fly drones in parks, and this is all done with authorization from BC Parks with a appropriate permit. And with there's more information here, but we are trying to create virtual tours of parks to give people that information at your fingertips in an engaging way, in an innovative way, a bit more exciting than looking at a map or looking at pictures, and just really more interactive. There's, right now we're in the sky view where you're looking at it all. You can scroll around, look at that view. You can see what islands are there, the Tantalus Range, and Porto Cove. For those who may not know, this is on in the sea to sky region. So just, what do we say, west of Vancouver, towards Whistler, between Vancouver and Whistler. So if we want to take a sneak peek at what to expect, well, first of all, we can click on the information bubbles to get the information itself, but we can then go to the certain locations. So here we're giving a look into the pier. What can you expect? Here you can click on a link that will actually take you back to our website and are relevant to those specific locations. You can go on to water sports. So, like I said, this continues to be a work in progress, and our Discover Trails coordinator has been working on this now for a while. And they'll slowly become a bit more interactive, and you can actually follow them a little more clearly. But now we're in the park, and you can learn about the welcome pole. We can see that there's a story trail coming soon. You can see the type of trails that they are. You can see what the surroundings are like, and hopefully really get some information that so you can come informed to the park or simply just experience the park from home and be able to have experiences that, might not otherwise be possible and see the beauty of the nature of BC. This is our beach view. So this is the Porto Cove Beach. Like I said, these are all these different guides. We have a guide on birding, on tidal pool exploration. We have a video guided tour on sunset photography that someone contributed, and it's super informative, super great. Really good opportunity to kind of learn some tips and tricks about photography. Um, and then you're always able to go back to the main sky view. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll go back to my main presentation. And I wanted to open up if there were any questions or anything people wanted to check out more. I'm happy to go back to the website. But hopefully that was useful. And I know a lot of this is really like new, and we're a young foundation. The BC Parks Foundation was created in 2018. So a lot of what we're doing is, yeah, it's new to us. It's new to the everyone. And so we really just love sharing about it. And once again, always open to feedback. We don't think that it's perfect by any means. And we're just continuing to try to improve. Thank you so much for your time. And I don't see any questions or any. I'll stop sharing and kind of see if anyone has anything they'd like to ask. Oh, were you not able? I'm in Emmanuel Willem. Hey, Jack. Sorry, thank you. I'm just looking at the chat now. Um, I just noticed, were you not able to see my screen? I noticed the can you share your screen comment a few minutes ago. I hope people could see it. But we currently don't have the detailed information that I think we're wanting to make sure these guides have for trails. I think, like you're mentioning, the topography. We're hoping that having the videos and having these virtual tours will start providing that information and allow for people to see what they feel comfortable going to. But there's not, I won't say that there is that exact topography information on all our guides, but I really appreciate you mentioning that there. So I'm looking at the next question from Shira. I missed the beginning of the presentation. Curious why all of the great program / accessibility information is separate from the BC Parks webpage. It might be confusing to navigate between two websites. I absolutely understand where that's coming from. It's difficult because we aren't BC Parks, so we don't have access to their website or the ability to add this. Yeah, we don't have the ability to control that website, and I think they have a very specific focus. However, we are working with them to create synergy within our website. So the virtual tour that I had showed you, we hope will be linked on the Porto Cove Parks page on the BC Parks website. The parks where we have our Discover Park Ambassador programs, Alice Lake, for example, you can find a link in one of the at the park page that leads you to our Discover Parks website. So we are working to make sure it's a cohesive experience. However, we aren't able to create one website because they are government and we are a nonprofit independent organization. So we play by different rules. I hope that answers your question. Anything else? I do encourage you to send an email. I can write my own email in the chat if anyone wants to chat or has any thoughts that they'd like to share. And I'll write also our general email. We're always open to discussing. And the 360 tour will be available publicly, hopefully in the next month. We'll have it on the Portoco website. This is our pilot virtual tour. So in the next year, we're hoping to expand that to more parks, starting with the most popular ones. I don't know for sure, so I can't say, but it'll be a slow work in progress. And hopefully in the next few years, we'll actually have a really robust collection of virtual tours for people to have access to. But yeah, I would say in the next month, I would also encourage you to follow us on Instagram if that's something you use. DiscoverParks.ca is the handle. And that way we're always updating on any new activities, any exciting things that come up. Any other questions? I'm just writing my email in the chat just for people to reach out. Awesome. Well, I don't want to waste anybody else's time. Oh, do you have an accessibility advisory committee that has been helping with the content? We do not ourselves at the foundation. So I don't know if I mentioned, but we actually, in making these guided resources more inclusive and accessible, we've hosted a few workshops with our EDI partner organizations and the BC Parks Commitment to Inclusion Steering Committee. And these were open forum discussions to co-create a set of accessibility standards and guidelines for any future Discover Trail projects. And these documents are the ones that guide the direction of each Discover Trail project from idea initiation to final design. I hope that helps or that answers that. I think as Discover Parks grows, like we really a year ago had 3 employees. We're now at 5 or 6. So it is a fast moving program growth wise, and we're excited to see where it goes. So I really appreciate your interest in it. Any last minute questions? Amazing. Well, I will leave it there. This will be online, and thank you so much, Kosar. Really appreciate it.
Very nice presentation.
Awesome.
So see you sometime again.
I hope everyone has a great day.